agility and problem-solving approach. And the fourth area is sustainability and clean economy. Katoa, distinguished guests, business leaders, colleagues, friends, thank you for being here today and for the energy and intent you bring to this round table. Can I start by offering a very special thank you, my gratitude to my friend and a great friend of New Zealand, Minister Piyush Goyal. Minister Goyal and I have had many occasions to meet and to talk over phone as we have supported the desire of our two Prime Ministers, Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Luxon, to deliver a high-quality trade agreement that's good for the people of New Zealand and the people of India. We've actually become family friends. We've worked well in the WTO together, and I think that it sets the scene, the foundation for great things to come between our nations. I also want to recognise the two negotiators. Many people have been involved from New Zealand. Vangelis Vitalis, thank you for your hard work and your team, and Petal from India, who we are so very proud to host in New Zealand and to negotiate. I know that Vangelis and Petal too have become very good friends, and I'm trying to arrange citizenship for Petal in New Zealand so that she can go out and do negotiation for New Zealand also, as Vangelis does. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 4 members of Parliament that I brought with me, as well as a very significant business delegation from New Zealand, representatives from the business community, from some of our associations, representatives of the Indian New Zealand community as well. But the members of Parliament, the Honourable Damien O'Connor, former Trade Minister and the Trade Spokesman from our main opposition party, Dana Kirkpatrick and Rima Nakul, first-term MPs who both either their electorates significantly are interested in this agreement, or in the case of Rima and her electorate, more than 50% of the population of the electorate comes from Asia, and the largest ethnic grouping from that 50% are Indian New Zealanders. And Parmjit Palmer, a member of the ACT Party, a member of government as well. Thank you for travelling here with us. There is a huge amount that we can celebrate, a lot to cooperate. Everything we do together as two nations, I think, is absolutely complementary. I want to, before I get into the substance of my talk today and talk a little bit around those opportunities, the commitment of New Zealand to delivering the benefits for all of our citizens, mention a young man called Ben, who's on my, he's on my left over here, who is 21 years of age, who comes out of the Prime Minister's office, and he's here as a videographer. Ben tells me this is one of the first big visits he's ever done anywhere in the world. In fact, to trade negotiators, many of you won't understand this, but his absolute excitement when he got to Auckland International Airport, because it was the first time in a long time that he had been here. But the point of this is he's been with us for a couple of days now, doing videos and social media posts. The important part of this, upon his arrival, there's something infectious about India and the opportunities that you have from ICT and so on. He was very gifted before he got here. He's now the best videographer we have in New Zealand. So thank you for everything that you've done. And that in turn is a signal to all young New Zealanders that India is a market, is a place to come and to make friends. Colleagues, we meet at an amazing moment in the New Zealand-India relationship. In just a few hours, our two governments will take a significant step forward, one that reflects years of engagement, of negotiation, of growing ambition on both sides. But what happens here today is just as important as what will happen later. Because while governments negotiate agreements, it is the businesses that turn them into outcomes, into jobs, innovation, exports, investment and long-term partnership. New Zealand and India are natural partners. We're connected by people, by education, by shared democratic values and by a belief in enterprise as a driver of opportunity. Over the past decade, our commercial relationship has broadened and matured, moving well beyond traditional trade into technology, services, research, sustainability and advanced manufacturing. India's extraordinary economic transformation is one of the defining stories of our time. Its scale and dynamism and digital reach make it not just a market, but a platform. one that New Zealand firms increasingly see as central to their global growth strategy. And at the same time, India has been clear about the kind of international partnerships it values, ones that are long-term, high trust, and aligned with domestic priorities such as skills, productivity, resilience, and inclusive growth. That creates real opportunity for those prepared to invest, collaborate, and think strategically. The agreement that we sign today is designed to support that ambition. At its core, a free trade agreement is an enabler. It reduces friction, it provides certainty, it sets clear rules that make it easier for businesses to plan, to invest and to scale. But an FTA does not create success on its own. It does not choose markets, build relationships or innovative products or services. That work sits squarely with all of you, the business leaders gathered around our table today. The real value of an agreement lies in how businesses can use it, how you respond to improve market access, streamline processes and stronger frameworks for cooperation. From the conversations I have had with both New Zealand and Indian firms, several opportunity areas stand out. First, value-added food and agriculture technology. New Zealand's strength has always been quality, safe and innovation, not volume for its own sake. India's interest in food security, supply chain resilience and productivity opens space for collaboration across processing, logistics, cold chain solutions and sustainable agriculture. The second area is education, skills and talent. Education has long been a cornerstone of our relationship. The opportunity now is to move beyond traditional models towards joint delivery, digital learning, executive education and industry-aligned skill development that supports India's workforce ambitions and New Zealand's export expertise. Imagine a joint degree where young New Zealanders study in New Zealand and they come to India to study and the degree can be recognised on both sides. Same for young India, something for us to not only strive towards but to work hard to deliver on. The third area is technology and digital services. From fintech to health tech, from AI-enabled services to cybersecurity, our firms are finding new ways to work together, combining India's scale and talent with New Zealand's agility and problem-solving approach. And the fourth area is sustainability and clean economy. Both our countries are grappling with the transition to low emissions growth. There is real scope for cooperation in renewable energy, environmental services, climate smart infrastructure and circular economy solutions. And these are not theoretical opportunities. Many of you are already active in the space. What today offers is a chance to accelerate, to move faster and with great confidence. My request to you all is a simple one. Use this momentum to deepen partnerships, not just transactions, to think beyond immediate gains and toward long-term presence, and to connect across sectors, across borders, and across values and a value chain. Governments can provide frameworks, but it is the businesses that define the character of an economic relationship. The tone you set on trust, transparency and ambition will shape how this agreement is experienced on the ground. From New Zealand's side, our commitment is clear. We will be active partners in helping businesses navigate new settings, identify opportunities and build constructive, enduring relationships with Indian counterparts. We understand that entering or expanding in a market like India requires patience, long knowledge, local knowledge and often collaboration. Our agencies, networks and diplomatic presence are focused on supporting that journey, not just at the point of entry, but over time. In a few hours, the formal work of negotiations will reach a milestone. But the real work, the work that counts, begins with the conversations like those you have been having around this table today. I encourage you to be ambitious, be practical and open-minded, ask hard questions, explore joint ideas. Think about how you can contribute not just to your own success, but to a stronger, more resilient New Zealand-India economic partnership. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to the outcomes that flow from your conversations today. Tēnā koutou, tēnā wād.
Honourable Minister, thank you so much for your remarks. It is now my privilege to invite Shri Piyush Goyal, Honourable Minister of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, to deliver his special address.
Thank you very much. Namaste, Kia ora, and a warm welcome to all the participants at this very important India-New Zealand Business Forum. This very important day when we have friends from New Zealand visiting us. Thank you, Todd, for your leadership of this engagement, for all the good work and all the many visits that you have made to India, including the first visit where he probably was on the plane for 40 hours to spend 12 hours in India. Thank you, High Commissioner Patrick, for steering the speed with which we were able to expand this discussion, take it to fruition, and ensuring that things don't break down, despite very significant differences in the scale and possible outcomes that often came across as big hurdles in this negotiation. Very warm welcome to all our distinguished members of Parliament. Mr. Daniel O'Connor is a very dear friend. We worked together for nearly 5.5, 6 years, and great to have him back in India after many years. Ms. Kirkpatrick, Dr. Parmar, Ms. McClay, a warm welcome and thank you for coming to India on this important day. Thank you, Puneet, for steering today's engagement and for bringing the three associations together, FICCI, CII and ASSOCHAM, all working as partners so that we can look for a brighter future as friends and as one country working for the shared prosperity of every Indian and in today's context, every New Zealander and Indian together. A big thank you to Mr. Hone McCrugger, the chair of Tomata, for steering the Business Roundtable on behalf of the New Zealand side. Both our chief negotiators, Mr. Vangelis and Ms. Dillon, did a good job. They persevered through and finally got us a very fair, equitable and balanced free trade agreement, of which I think both countries can be proud. Thank you, Ms. Gurmeet Tej, for putting together such a wonderful group of business leaders from both sides. Tilak, that was a very good presentation, and I hope you will continue to work with New Zealand to make sure that that $20 billion FDI comes in very quickly and make the journey of all our friends from New Zealand smoother, handhold them, be more inviting, ensure that they have a seamless journey into India, and likewise for Indian investors in New Zealand, playing the role of a bridge between the two sides. All the sectoral lead discussants, thank you for your leadership on the three very important subjects. I think each one of them is important to this FTA and will define the success of this FTA as we move forward. Captains of industry from New Zealand and India, thank you for participating today at this very important business forum, which I hope will be the precursor to many more in the years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, today we meet soon after New Zealand observed Anzac Day, the 111th anniversary of the Battle of Gallipoli. And why I am remembering that is because, in a way, this partnership between New Zealand and India is not only reflected in the businesses that we do together, but the Indian soldiers fought shoulder to shoulder with the Australian and New Zealand soldiers at the Battle of Gallipoli, reflecting the shared commitment to preserving democracy, preserving independence, preserving what is right for the world. And today, as we sign the free trade agreement between the two countries, we are expanding that partnership to open the doors for greater business, larger investments, more trust and confidence in each other, and working towards ensuring that the people of New Zealand and the people of India can work together in the years to come to ensure that the world is a better place to live in, and both our countries benefit equally from this new engagement. I must place on record my deep appreciation of the good work that businesses have done so far, but I'm sure you will all agree that the potential is manifold more. While both our countries are separated by a long distance, I think borders and distances are gradually becoming immaterial in the world of today, where a lot more of technology, a lot more of digital engagement, significant amount of possibilities of working together both in merchandise or in services, working together in newer areas like tourism, cultural exchanges, education, the audiovisual or entertainment sector, the creative industry. The world has moved on from the past. And I think when we map the entire arc of this partnership, from farm to factory, from factory to a prosperous future for both nations, it clearly shows us the immense possibilities between our two countries and the effort that we now all need to move from discussions to deliverables. And as Todd just mentioned, the most important element will be all of you. To some extent, we've done our job, but we'll always be available to help all of you leverage this partnership to greater heights and bigger achievements. Honorable Prime Minister Christopher Luxon, when he came for the Raisina dialogue earlier this year, very rightfully mentioned, in an increasingly multipolar world, India's size and geostrategic heft gives India autonomy. India today works with the rest of the world from a position of strength, full of confidence, to engage, expand the relationship, not worried, but looking to encash the opportunities, while also willing to open our doors to greater international engagement. And we do that from a position where we have an economy of size and scale, an economy that is working with strong macroeconomic fundamentals, a young population under 30 years of age at average, very aspirational, looking to the future in an interconnected world from the lens of their smartphone, looking at what is happening in Auckland or Sydney or Tokyo or New York, with 1 billion Indians connected to the internet. I'm told the second largest number of ChatGPT users also come from India. And gone are the days when Indians worked for the basic amenities, basic needs. Today they work for high quality of life. A growing middle class, sporting a GDP which on purchasing power parity is nearly $15 trillion. A Coke bottle in India would probably cost 1/7 of what it would cost in New Zealand. You would be able to run your requirements for the office or for manufacturing at cost significantly lower in India, and providing you that differential edge that can help your businesses scale up, that can help your businesses expand into newer markets at competitive prices through India, because this free trade agreement reflects the shared trust between the two nations, the confidence of policy stability, the confidence of stability in the business environment, open doors, and all of this leading towards resilient supply chains. Very often I share with friends from the developed countries that COVID taught us a lot of new lessons. We were all doing a lot of our businesses, a lot of our activities from home, and realized that for every part of our business, we don't have to be located in a particular geography. A lot of work can be done, if it could be done from home, from other geographies, which helps businesses become more efficient, help businesses bring down costs, and therefore, if you see the last 4 or 5 years, our expansion in the global capability center space has been massive. We have today probably close to 2,000 global capability centers operating in India, expected to go up to 2,700 in the next 3 or 4 years. Almost every Fortune 500 company works out of India. And going forward, they are all seeing the benefits of the huge talent that India provides at very, very attractive compensations. The fact that we produce the world's highest number of STEM graduates every year. The fact that a young Indian is willing to really go work that extra mile and doesn't remind you that it's Friday evening and time to go to the pub. The fact that you can be assured of data or digital connections at probably the lowest cost anywhere in the world, the large domestic demand that India offers to businesses, which can help you scale up, which can help you bring efficiency and produce goods at prices that you couldn't imagine in your country, and help you capture world markets across continents, thanks to the many free trade agreements that we have concluded, particularly with the developed world. In fact, in the last 3.5 years alone, we have concluded 9 free trade agreements, each one of them very comprehensive in nature, covering 38 developed nations, 38 prosperous nations, and in the aggregate, giving preferential access from India to businesses for about two-thirds of global trade or two-thirds of global GDP. All of this, friends, coupled with the structural reforms that we have focused on, some of which were mentioned in the presentation, the fact that we are making businesses easier to set up, easier to work in India, working towards reducing the compliance burden, decriminalizing several obsolete laws, ensuring simplicity in operations, ensuring a business climate that is trusting, that encourages investment, and also making sure that as a nation we provide an environment that is business friendly, that is very inviting, and that can help you both grow and enjoy good profits in India. From India, you can serve markets across the world, whether it's Africa, whether it's Latin America, whether it's Central Asia, if we were to look at developing countries, or the US or Europe, if you focus on developed economies. This can become your corridor. This can become your gateway to the entire world. The free trade agreement is very comprehensive, very forward-looking. While it opens the doors for goods and services in a massive way, it also has an investment commitment which will encourage businesses to leverage the strengths and scale that India offers. It will also encourage Indian businesses to look at New Zealand market, both for access in goods and services and potential investment. It'll, as Todd said, it could open up the doors for cultural exchanges, could open the door for education. It can expand our engagement on pharmaceuticals and the medical side. It can encourage new job creation, technology transfers, joint innovation projects. We are looking at partnerships also on the agricultural field. I'd love to see some Manuka honey come to India, but also would like to see our kiwi farmers benefit from this partnership. I was amazed when I found the one company who's also present here expand or produce or do a business, have a revenue of $3 billion on kiwi fruit alone. And as we were having kiwi fruit at breakfast yesterday, Todd was wondering whether it's Indian kiwi or New Zealand kiwi. In fact, I remember Shushruth, who's the founder of invasive surgery, the first person in the world to actually start surgical operations, came from India. And my own surgeon, a very dear friend and doctor in Mumbai, he's no more, and he was one of the finest surgeons that India had ever produced, Dr. Udwadia. He used to treat Indian patients for the post-surgery treatment by using a dressing which had Manuka honey in it. And I remember once when he told me the ingredients he required, he wanted the gauze, of course, the dressing. He wanted Indian desi ghee, that's the butter that we produce in India from our cows. He wanted Indian desi ghee, and he wanted honey from Australia or New Zealand. I don't want to get into your internal problems, but I remember when I got him the honey the first time around, he rejected it and he said, "No, get me Manuka honey." At that time, I didn't even know it came from New Zealand. But that dressing, he would say, with Indian ghee and Manuka honey, was the fastest way to cure a patient in the post-surgical phase. And I've benefited from that. So I owe a debt of gratitude to your honey farmers, but would also like to invite them to come to India and help our farmers, because we in India currently are running a program where we are encouraging more and more farmers to go in for producing honey to supplement their income. What is it called? That project, we've launched a project on honey farming. And I think this is the kind of areas that this partnership can truly benefit from, which are out of the box, and I don't think any other engagement covers these kind of areas other than the New Zealand partnership. Friends, our bilateral trade is small, but our ambitions are big. We must look at the true potential of this partnership, expand our complementarity in areas of agri-tech, food processing, clean energy, leverage markets in our two countries and across the world, see our skilled talent can work with innovation and technology in New Zealand, work towards manufacturing, work towards greater engagement in the newer areas of digital technology, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and therefore the three subjects chosen today for the three business roundtables perfectly represent the New Zealand-India growth story. As Prime Minister Modi said, and I quote, "The India-New Zealand Free Trade Agreement sets the stage for doubling the bilateral trade in the coming 5 years." Let's look at greater ambition together. Let's look at the India-New Zealand Free Trade Agreement reflecting the Maori spirit, Kamua Kamuri, walking into the future while facing the past. I invite all of you to join this journey to co-invest, co-manufacture, co-innovate, and co-create. Thank you very much, and all the best.
Honorable Minister, sir, thank you so much for your deeply inspiring words. Ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude the India-New Zealand Business Forum, it is my privilege on behalf of Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, to extend our sincere thanks to all those who have contributed to making today's discussions and deliberations so meaningful and productive. We are deeply honored by the presence and guidance of Shri Piyush Goyal, Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, and Honorable Todd McClay, Minister of Trade.